The night of December 2nd, 1984 is not an easy one to forget for India. It was the night of the worst industrial disaster the world has ever seen. At least 30 tons of methyl isocyanate gas killed more than 15,000 people and affected over 600,000 workers in Bhopal. From then, the disaster has been called the Bhopal Gas Tragedy. Hello and welcome to the New Indian Express. The tragedy unfolded at the Union Carbide India Limited pesticide plant when a massive leak of methyl isocyanate, a highly toxic chemical, devastated the lives of thousands. Most of the people who died were asleep when tons of toxic gas was leaked into the atmosphere. About 30 tons of MIC escaped from the tank into the atmosphere in 45 to 60 minutes. This would increase to 40 tons within 2 hours. And if the facts are right, it was the children who first inhaled the poisonous gas. As methyl isocyanate gas is approximately twice as dense as air and in an open environment has a tendency to fall towards the ground and thus leading to the people of shorter stature inhaling more. Immediate effects were catastrophic. Thousands of people died within hours due to respiratory failure, pulmonary edema, and cardiac arrest. But the effects of the tragedy did not end in the deaths of the loved ones for the people who survived. They had to suffer through life-threatening diseases and loss of livelihood. The stillbirth rate and the neonatal mortality rate increased up to 300% and 200% respectively. And the children who were born suffered from disabilities like cerebral palsy, intellectual developmental disorders, Down syndrome, and muscular dystrophy. In the aftermath of the whole incident, the victims of the tragedy are still awaiting justice. The case they filed before the Supreme Court was directed for settlement where the Union Carbide company agreed to pay the victims $470 million or Rs 715 crore, which is now being seen as one of the most unjust and irrational decisions ever taken. There is a lot of ambiguity and controversy with respect to the arrest of UCC Chairman and CEO Warren Anderson. He was arrested and released on bail by the Madhya Pradesh police in Bhopal on 7th December 1984. Anderson was taken to UCC's house, after which he was released 6 hours later on $2,100 bail and flown out on a government plane. Multiple cases relating to the tragedy and its compensation are still languishing in the courts of India. Even now, the victims are protesting the government's failure to pay compensation. As the survivors continue to seek justice, the hope remains that one day the voices of the affected will be heard and the truth will come to light. Until then, the fight for justice and recognition of the victims' suffering continues, and the memories of December 2nd, 1984 will never be forgotten.